Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We have two guests on this show, two great interviews with golfers, PGA Tour winners. We have Keith Mitchell first, and then we have Daniel Berger, who's the defending champion at Pebble Beach this week. So boom, we're just cranking interviews lately, to be honest with you. I think coming up very soon next week, we're gonna have an expert, a doctor in the art of basically the yips and neurological issues that translate to sports, which I don't know why we would have that on. I don't know if that's relevant to anyone or anything here, but point is we got two big interviews here. Colt was awesome on Tuesday's show. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. And then we got Keith Mitchell and Daniel Berger on this show. Interview. Reminder to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting all of our hard work, our sweat, our tears. We got E-Bug, Jake Bass working really hard. Everybody's working really hard. Putting these videos together, putting them out, putting them on YouTube. So if you subscribe, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Foreplay Golf, and then you're going to get hit all the time with really cool videos that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, and there's something happened with the last one where it didn't get into the algorithm. It was like a copyright claim because of some sort of language that I used or something. I don't know. I think I said something about squirting and it stopped. Basically the final episode. Something the algorithm stream got stopped for a second. There was a claim on the video, and now it's been cleared, so now it's back into wherever it goes on YouTube algorithm's a fucking crazy place. I don't know how it works, I don't know how it operates, but if you fuck it up for 1 second, you lose your stream. We're at 100,000 views. That video at Band and Dunes should have 400,000 views. That's how good of a match it is. That's how good of a golf course it is. Go watch it. If you haven't seen it pop up on your next suggested videos, that's because something happened to the video. It happens every now and again. And then again, I'm going to plug the Disney episode is a fantastic episode.
Wholesome.
It's just wholesome. It's funny. It's great. It's us off the golf course. It's stuff that we want to start doing more. When we do the travel series, we want to start doing more stuff off the golf course and incorporate all the things you can do in the towns and the cities. And we're starting to do that a lot. Disney was everything encapsulated with that. So yeah, the YouTube page is in a good place, and then keep an eye open. Trent and we have not forgotten about it. We've been traveling a lot. We are going to do the hole-in-one challenge on PGA Tour 2K. We're going to donate all the money that goes into the super chat on YouTube. We're going to donate all the money to the First Tee program. We've already raised about $2,000. That's just sitting in this little bank account on YouTube. It hasn't gone anywhere. We're going to do it. We're going to try and raise as much money as we possibly can, and we're not going to stop until we get a hole-in-one. That is coming up very soon on whenever I get back, right? We're just going to do that whenever we get back.
Yep, I'm in.
Go subscribe. I want to get to 200,000 subscribers tomorrow. We're at 183,000. You know how easy it is for you listening here to just go on to YouTube, the app, download the YouTube app, go to Foreplay, and just hit the little subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. That takes 2 seconds.
We would love that. That's really easy
Please
to do, so
that.
just go do it, please. Thank you so much. That's how you can support us. It'd be really nice. All right, we got two big interviews coming up. Cisco, all right, big thanks to Cisco. They partner with a bunch of good folks and do really good work. Their purpose is powering an inclusive future. That's a hell of a purpose, by the way. What do you think our purpose is?
Oh, I don't know if we have one. Do we have one?
Doubtful.
To entertain?
Oh.
Ugh. Oh, boy.
I don't know anymore.
Cisco is partnering with the Monterey Peninsula Foundation and at&t Pebble Beach Pro-Am for the charity event because they're aligned values, 30 celebrity amateurs from the world of sports. We're going to be tuning in, okay? Everybody make sure you tune in for the $1 million hole-in-one for charity presented by Cisco on Saturday, February 5th on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern, all right? We just talked about you guys trying to get a hole-in-one on PGA Tour 2K. This is real life. This is a $1 million challenge. This is Cisco, Pebble Beach, Saturday, February 5th, CBS, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The $1 million hole-in-one challenge. You think somebody gets one?
I don't think someone gets one. I think it's impossible. And Trent and I also, we participated in this. We went to a simulator and we participated in it. And to me, in my brain, I think that we came the closest that anyone's going to come because we came within 2 feet. And Trent
It's an incredibly hard hole to do it on, so I have my doubts.
Well, tune in, okay? CBS, $1 million hole-in-one challenge for charity presented by Cisco, Saturday, February 5th on CBS. Speaking of Cisco, here's our good friend Keith Mitchell. We got about an hour with him. We got 30 or 40 minutes with Daniel Berger. Enjoy the show.
Wow.
I didn't tighten mine.
Oh, no one can tell, Riggs, that you didn't tighten yours. I mean, it looks like a helmet.
Thank you.
Riggs looks like when the pitchers in baseball wear those extra big hats. The guy on the fucking Phillies used to do that. I feel like it was a couple years ago. He was like experimenting a helmet hat, and it just looked so ridiculous.
Hey,
Looks
that's
like a
good.
child that's just going to fall down over his eyes and he's going to like walk into a wall. It's like he
Cisco,
can't.
baby.
Cisco.
Keith, you always been a Visor guy? When did you become a Visor guy?
I've always been a Visor guy, and it was until Nike when they made a really shitty visor that I had to wear the big ass flat bill because I have such a big head. So once I didn't have to wear that anymore, I decided to go back to the game.
What percentage of people you guys think wear visors?
More than you think. I'm going 15.
15% of golfers wear visors, you think?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. 15 feels like a good number.
I'm going to say way
lower?
lower than that. Yeah.
I'm going to go
Dude, I'll tell you this.
5%.
Are we talking
about-
about all golfers?
I'm
Yeah.
the only Visor guy in my whole group of friends, I think.
Yeah. Lurch, one year, Lurch, our captain, he got us visors as the squad, and we all looked absolutely ridiculous. But I'll also
I
say
got everybody a huge
about every-
visor.
about every 2 years, we try to sell visors in the store, and we sell none of them.
Well, what store are you talking about?
Barstool Sports store.
Like online or like in New York? Because this is a Southern thing.
Online.
It might be a little more southern. That's probably a good point.
And y'all are, I mean, what's your demographic? You're got to be like 75% Northern, right?
We're getting a little more national.
We're starting to
Getting into
bleed
the
out
weeds a
there.
bit here.
Listen,
I
you
don't
need
think
a
we're
certain type of head structure. You need a big head. You need to be able because like it looks good on you. Or I don't know if it looks good on you or I'm used to you wearing it. Like Lurch, I'm used to him wearing it. Riggs looks like he needs to go to the hospital, and I look like I look like I should join the I absolutely have a tea time on the LPGA. Like,
Yeah.
You look like
you know what I
Keith,
mean?
dude.
Like,
You
'Cause
look just
it's
like
tight
him.
and it gets wider.
no, I look
It's
like
a woman
female.
visor.
That's fine.
Yeah, you do.
I have a feminine face. I definitely look like a female right now. There's no doubt about it, dude.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Every time he pops up on the screen talking, I just start dying laughing.
It's not a good fit, man. What do you want me to do? I'm trying to do this buffet of bits we're fucking doing here with the Cisco thing. There's so much space, dude, over here. All right. We got Keith Mitchell. We're in the middle of the interview, by the way. Where you at? Where are you coming at from?
I'm literally at Pebble Beach. Like
Oh my God.
we're in the midst of it. And
Where you staying? You got a house?
Yeah, staying at a buddy's house from Dallas. And it's right above the golf course. Absolutely amazing. And the weather, it looks perfect this week, which honestly, one of the biggest down players of the AT&T week is the weather can be terrible. I mean, you've seen hail delays out here. You've seen, 45 and raining sideways. This week, this weather looks absolutely perfect.
Kiz always complains about the weather. Your fellow Bulldog.
He complains about everything.
That's true. But he's out there and like he's always got like the long sleeve Under Armour on, and he's just freezing out there. He looks miserable.
It can be that way for sure. But this week it looks like it's going to be in the 60s every day. Going to be sunny, and when the weather's good and you're walking around Pebble Beach, I don't think there's a better place in the world to play golf.
Where does Pebble rank for you all-time golf courses?
Definitely top 5.
Whoa! What is your top 5? Could you rattle off the top of your head?
Yeah, I got an emotional hedge on one of them. The course I grew up, the Honors Course in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's one of my absolute favorites. So there's obviously some emotion in that one, but that's okay. It's my top 5, not the world's top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The new course in Cobbtown, Georgia, a Hoopy Match Club. I don't know if you boys have been there, but it's so cool because there is literally no pars on any of the holes. And so there's a lot of holes that are anywhere between like 250 and 300 yards, which is like kind of an odd distance, right? It's too easy per par 4, but too hard per par 3. So a lot of holes like that. And they have like a 650-yard hole that they call like a par 5.5. because it takes literally 3 monster shots to get there. So just that whole kind of fresh design, I loved. I love going to play Sweetens Cove up in Chattanooga. I'll say that's a top 5 experience. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say top 5 actually golf course because it's only 9 holes, but top 5 experience. And then I'll put, I mean, would I be killed if I didn't say Augusta National up here?
Yes, I think so. I think
think
you get a bullet right to the head.
We
Someone
would cut
shoots
the
you
stream.
from
We
the
would end the
trees.
stream if you didn't say Augusta.
Somebody in a green jacket shoots you from those trees behind you. Just they come out of nowhere and you're just done.
I mean, it's crazy. So I would definitely put that there. And I've fortunately got to experience the fun side of it and then the tournament side, and both of them are equally as awesome. So I think I think that might be 5 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I really
fine.
like that list because even for us, like we're always picking just the big name ones: Bandon Dunes, Pebble Beach. Like the list goes on and on. You're picking a lot of different, fresh idea golf courses, which is pretty refreshing for us to hear that you like that different style of golf now. And I'm sure that makes sense because of how much golf you play and how much formal golf you're playing on all these courses. So that's pretty cool to hear.
It's because tournament golf is one thing, right? It's a test of golf. It's tee to green, who shoots the lowest round. So when I'm not in a tournament, I'm looking to have fun playing golf and not trying to do the same stuff. So that's why I think Sweetens and the Hoopy are so much fun for me to take necessarily a golf trip to just to enjoy the game as something that's not work.
How often do you take like golf trips, not like a work trip, but to go actually just play golf with the boys?
I would probably say 2 or 3 times a year, and I would say those are usually a 1-night trip, 2-day plays, and
Yeah.
let's put it this way: my golf is pretty terrible on those. Like if you can't handicap me on those trips because I could shoot 65 or 78.
That's what I was gonna say. I bet you can light it up sometimes too. You get like right at that, like we always talk about like beer pong. There's like a bell curve where you go up and then you're just at the top and you're rolling and then you just come crashing down. I bet at the top of that curve when you're just playing fun golf, I bet you can light it up.
My curve is like this. It's like nothing, and then as soon as you have your first sip, it goes like this.
You get worse when you drink?
It's so much worse. It's not even. I'm so bad.
Well, think about how good he is when he's not drinking. Like we're terrible all the time, so we're always trying to fix something. And when we're a little bit more relaxed, we drink a little bit more, maybe we play a little bit better. It cannot be the same for a guy like Keith. He is as good as he is sober, and then anything else is probably going to be worse.
Ask Patrick Mahomes if he's better drinking playing football.
Right.
All right, touche. That's a fair point. What's your favorite bar on tour? You got like a favorite bar?
Wow, this is the first time I've been asked that question. That's
Yeah. You like that one?
Because I mean, I hate to say this. Honestly, we're not looking for them, right? We're not necessarily saying, "Hey, where's the cool bar this week?" Because we are grinding. We show up on Monday, practice round Tuesday, pro-am Wednesday, and then tournament. So the best way to describe it: what's your favorite place to miss the cut?
Right.
Yes.
Which is nowhere. But if I had to, I would say, I mean, Liberty National is pretty great to miss the cut because you're in downtown.
Yeah, it just becomes a city. Like which is just the best city, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
Which I haven't
what it comes down to.
but this past year we had Sunday canceled because of that tropical storm.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
We had Sunday canceled on Saturday. So I had like a fun night on Saturday in New York. We went to a great dinner, went to a little jazz bar afterwards, and we didn't have anything to do Sunday. We couldn't go to the golf course. It was absolutely raining sideways and blowing. So that was honestly a fun time because I've been to New York plenty of times for fun, and I got to be able to go enjoy a fun dinner and go to a little jazz bar. So that was awesome.
Gotta be fun to find the little places that, like, when you go to these tour stops that you always want to go back to. I'm experiencing that right now with we're here at Torrey. We're in Carlsbad right now, and a bunch of the guys were saying that this little sushi spot right by Torrey, Ken Sushi, like, you know about it?
Oh yeah.
It's just like every tour player goes there for sushi when they play Torrey, and like you walk into this place, it's in a strip mall. You'd never know that it's the place to go for all these like extremely rich golfers that are like rolling in here. You walk into this place, guys, it's like it's just every sushi place in every town you've ever seen before. And then apparently the food is out of this world. And I wouldn't know because I walked in thinking you could just walk in and get a table, and the lady laughed at me. I was like, "Yeah, we're here for a table of 4," and she goes, "Oh, like what are you kidding me?" She's like, "We have reservations from now until 11 o'clock at night, and you're just like," she went like this, like, "Shoot, like goodbye." Like Dustin Johnson's rolling in there, he's picking up fucking sushi to go to Dubai. Like you're hearing all these stories about how like they need to stock all their planes with all the Ken sushi places, so plates of food. So, do you have your certain spots that you hit at certain tour stops that like you can't wait to get there?
Honestly, I have lists. I literally have lists
Oh,
of
nice.
all these restaurants because that is my honest
Oh, good.
number one escape on tour, because you get in such a monotonous routine sometimes where it's practice round, work on your wedge game, hit your short game, pro-am, tournaments, and then you're out and you go to the next tournament. That is my like fun escape out here, is finding those, not necessarily hole in the walls, but just awesome restaurants. Anywhere from a burger joint to barbecue to like a crazy Italian or steakhouse. And it's gotten to the point now where, I mean, I'm making reservations months out because of places like Ken's, and because we know our schedule for the entire year, that we, pick and choose and cherry pick them. And then always the fun night is Monday or Tuesday night, because we don't have the tournament on Thursday. So we'll usually save the big boys for Monday or Tuesday. And then, depending on your tee time wave, if it's like something quick, just go grab and go and pick up to go and go back to the hotel room or the house, or if you can actually sit down and have dinner. But Monday, Tuesdays, we hammer them out.
Is that typical, like with Ken's, where some people start going and then they all start going? Like, if you find a good spot, are you trying to keep it to yourself, or do you notice that players start rolling in each year at that good spot?
It's definitely a shareable experience out here.
Yeah.
Some guys have been out here for so long that they've had like their spots, and a new rookie who's never been to any of these cities before, might go to Chipotle 5 nights a week, right? Because and so it's definitely and plus, knowing that we know our schedule, it's not like we're fighting each other for reservations. We can just all go.
Yeah. It's like when we went to Australia, we just went to McDonald's 3 nights in a row.
There was a Domino's across the street. I went to twice while we were there.
No,
we were
Tough because like, dude, we had the Domino's literally right across the street, and you'd order and go down there, and then they had this screen that had like the next 5 orders on it, so you'd see like Frankie, Trent were on the screen. It was tough. You're trying to hide from the boys. It's like, did you get two large pizzas yesterday by yourself? Bad, tough scene. I never really thought about the fact that your entire schedule for the year. Like we change our plans and book trips and where we're going to go for work like 2 days out. And you just know your entire schedule for the year, like a year in advance.
The only way that changes is if you're on the cusp of getting in majors or not. And then that's 4 weeks a year. So I could tell you everywhere I'm going to be between now and September. Isn't that crazy?
See, that's wild.
It's kind of awesome. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, in one way, it's just so set. You just know where you're going to be. You can make these great plans for yourself. Another way, it's like, I'm a robot here for the next year. I just got to go and do my job and grind this thing out.
Which is why we try to find the cool restaurants to lighten it up a little bit.
You get tired of the travel? The travel's insane. Your guys'
Crazy.
schedules are nonstop.
I don't mind going to different places. I mind commercial airline delays and no bags.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it. I mind the packing. Do you know how big our golf bags are and as much shit as we have to carry around? I mean, it takes forever to pack.
Over 50 pounds every time. Over 50 pounds every time you check it.
I'm trying not to get over 70.
Oh my god.
And so you have 2 70-pound bags. Your backpack has your TrackMan and stuff in it, so that's heavy. So you're carrying 140 pounds plus a 20-pound backpack through the airport, and people have their carry-ons and they're running around, and you're just like an elephant walking in the room. Just people just part because they just don't want to get near your stuff. And then you have to throw it on the bag. And like, oh, can you get this under 50? I'm like, no. Here's my credit card. Get out of the way. We're going to the place. And then lately, baggages have been crazy. People have been losing bags left and right through Atlanta for some reason. Like, for example, I was on the way to Hawaii to get married, and my now wife's wedding dress didn't make it for like 2 days because Delta didn't get the bags. And of course,
that wasn't stressful at all.
Of course, my clubs made it.
Stand up there at the altars with your clubs, like, yeah, I do.
So, I mean, I don't mind the travel. I love going to different places. I love going to new experiences. And every once in a while, one of the big dogs lets you hop on their plane and go to the next place. It's awesome.
Like, you try to kind of lobby and hang around the right people and hope you get a little invite.
Honestly, Brant Snedeker was the best to me. He let me fly with him a couple times, and he was like, "Dude, I'm going there anyway. You don't owe me anything. I was a rookie." And he's like, "I don't care. He's already won the FedEx Cup. Like, whatever, I would split him the flight. Like, didn't make a big deal to him." So I didn't know what to do because I wanted to like pay him back and say thank you. And he said, "Do it for another rookie when they're in your shoes." And that is so awesome. And so anyway, I sent him a case of wine, but I still, Pat and Kazire and I were flying back from San Antonio this year, and we let Grace and Sig hop on, and he was like, "What do I owe you guys?" We're like, "No, somebody did it for us in the past. We're doing it for you. You just make sure you do it for somebody else down the road." And it's so cool. And Jordan Spieth has done that for me once. I birdied the last 2 holes of the Dell my rookie year to get in the BMW, and it was the Labor Day finish on Monday. So the tournament was on – the next tournament started Thursday, but the Pro-Am was on Wednesday, and I wasn't in the Pro-Am. So I was going to have to fly the next day and not even get a practice round. And Spieth is like, "Get on, let's go. We'll land tonight, and you have all day tomorrow to practice and play." So the guys are pretty awesome out here like that.
Essentially have when people at Starbucks during the holiday season start buying the coffee for the guy behind them, and then it just keeps going on, except on PGA Tour, it's a private jets.
Yeah,
That's the story.
Same thing, but different.
Same but different. Same but different.
I got to tell you, Jimmy Walker clearly is not a part of this because me and Lurch saw him at a Southwest terminal on Saturday night. He was in his full golf gear with like a backpack, and I think he was like number like B16 to board Southwest to like San Antonio. And we were like, what is he doing here?
I think the only thing he changed was his golf shoes. I think he literally just swapped out golf shoes for like dress shoes, and off he went. I just walked by him. I was like, I think that's just Jimmy Walker right there. And Rick's looking like,
Lurch gave him like a goofy, like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, hey. It was weird.
How great would it be if you went through your metal spikes and then got into a metal detector and was like, "Excuse me, sir."
Oh, man.
No, I missed a cut in San Diego, and so I came up to Pebble early, and I flew Alaskan Airlines up here. And my host that I'm staying with says, "Just make sure you don't land in Juneau because that's not very close."
You play anywhere? You play anywhere the last couple days?
I got to play Cypress yesterday.
Yeah, you did. Nice.
Yeah, it was. And then after that, I did a little charity event at the new Hay course, a little par 3, which by the way, so cool. And got to play with Clint Eastwood. And if I'm moving and talking and hitting balls like he is at 92, I mean, come on.
He's still moving out there? He's still getting those hips through the ball?
Well, it's so funny. He said that on about the 14th hole. He comes over and he's like, "Damn it, I haven't been moving my hips at all." And so he gets his hybrid about 110 yards. Next hole, absolutely stripes it. And this thing comes off like a rocket, lands right next to the flag about 110, and just takes the biggest hop right over the green back in the hazard. And he turns around and looks at me and goes, "Did you see it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was right at the flag. We'll see where it ends up." And Colt Ford was in the group in front and threw it back, and it was like 6 feet from the hole. We're like, "Damn, good shot. It's only 6 feet."
When you're playing with Clint Eastwood, is it hard not to, like, when you're talking to him, not to just keep thinking like that's Clint Eastwood? Because that's like, that's the only thing I'd be able to concentrate on. The way he talks, the way he is. He's 92. He's done it all. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to concentrate playing with Clint Eastwood.
Well, thank goodness it was a absolute hit and giggle. Like, we did not care, right? We were the par 3 tournament, scramble, fivesome. So that was the point. Like, we could do that. And so I was asking him about some times that he's actually played in AT&T. And I was like, how many times have you made the cut? He said, I'm not really sure. Not many. I was always too focused on partying during that week than playing golf.
Oh, what a legend. What a fucking legend.
Dude,
Clint
he's
Eastwood is.
seen it all. He's 92.
All of it.
Man.
Definition of a legend. Reminder, Cisco. Cisco's awesome. They are giving away $1 million, okay? $1 million hole-in-one for charity presented by Cisco on Saturday, February 5th, CBS, 12 p.m. Eastern. Trent and Frankie tried this. They came extremely close. Simulator try, extremely close. How many feet?
5?
Yeah, I probably was 5. I think there was something wrong with the simulator. It looked like it was like 1.5 feet, but yeah, it was 5. And
Simulator error. It was
Simulator
basically
error.
an it.
Yeah, if we were doing the gimmies, it was within the gimme range. So
That's all that matters on the sim.
yeah, I'm a real big fan of Cisco. I wonder what Cisco stands for. And I don't know that I can get. Do you think Cisco stands for something? Or is that just the name?
They based out of San Francisco?
Oh, headquarters.
Wow. I don't know that that's correct, but I really like that your brain went that direction. Did you say headquarters San Jose, Frankie?
Yeah.
That you might be onto something.
Oh, Jake just put it in there. Cisco is short for San Francisco. Cisco is short, the city where Stanford computer scientists Leonard Bosack and Sandy Lerner founded the company in 1984. That's why Cisco, in the early days, Bosack and Lerner insisted on branding its products with the lowercase Cisco.
Wow, Trent!
Trent Ryan, good work. That is amazing. Well done.
They're that brand name that you just know. You know what I mean? And when it comes to their technology, their Silicon Valley, they're very much they're the reason why these companies take it to the next level. And we are happy to be on Cisco products. Cisco WebEx is a delightful little video terminal. Wherever we're gonna.
As an official partner of the USGA, Cisco created the first ever connected course to keep fans connected and use WebEx by Cisco, which is what we're using, to revolutionize how media connect with fans. Again, tune in for the $1 million hole-in-one for charity presented by Cisco on Saturday, February 5th, CBS, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
When you played Cypress, these boys have been able to experience it, and we always that's one of those courses for us. You just look online and you look at the pictures and you can't believe that place exists. Riggs and Lurch were lucky enough to play it, but we always hear about that 16th hole, that long par 3, and like everyone talks about how it's like the hardest hole on the planet. And how do you attack that hole? Are you like really trying to, is that an important hole for you to get done because it's so iconic? Like, are you really trying to like what club are you using on that? Because I know Riggs says he could use a driver and still not make it there.
Well, I thought about this yesterday. We're on 16. It reminds me of a hoopie where if that was a par 4, people wouldn't think it was that hard, right? Because you could just hit a 7-iron over the side, chip it up on the green, or you could go for it and then 2-putt for birdie. But since it says par 3, it's like this is the hardest hole in the world because you're using it relative to par. But all you're trying to do is make the lowest score on the hole. It doesn't matter if it was a par 6 or a 7. You're just trying to make the lowest score. So that is a great example of what a hoopie does so well, is that it just takes par out of the equation, right? Just who makes the lowest score. But I'm not saying 16 shouldn't have a par. I think it's a great par 3 because yesterday I had to hit a 5-wood because the wind was off the right. It was like 140, and I absolutely smoked a 5-wood just to get it on the green. And the guy I was playing with, all 3 of them hit drivers. So I always attack the hole because I don't get to play it that often. I'm not playing a tournament. I want to be the guy that made a hole-in-one on 16. So I don't care where the flag is. I'm taking it right at it. If I hit it in the water, I'll go to the next hole. Don't care. That's all. We talked about it. Would you rather make a hole-in-one at 16 at Cypress or a hole-in-one at 12 at Augusta?
Wow. I'm gonna say 16 at Cypress.
Yeah, if you're talking like difficulty and just in terms of no one does that.
We're talking everything.
Yeah,
Well, 12 at Augusta, because that means I've played it, which would be off the charts.
that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
The fact that you guys, you idiots and mongoloids, have played Cypress is the reason why Augusta is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's fair. I also pulled
Yep.
driver there on 16 twice and left it way right both times. And I think
How
they
about-
would have been both short.
How about that motherfucking hole was that long 100 years ago?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same hole 100 years ago. I mean,
Yeah,
we're out
let's
there
get
with these
percent-
giant 460cc heads. It's like they're designed technologically you can't miss, and we're trying to hit the green with that thing. Like, what are you talking about 100 years ago?
a little feather ball of hickory shaft and a
Impossible.
We've had
Frankie,
we've
Frankie,
had
though,
this
if you
discussion.
if you saw 16 though, dude, there's like seals and shit, and like
I know,
it's
I know.
I mean, it's a fantasy.
Don't do the if you've seen 16
Right.
thing. I know you've been there.
Yeah.
Like, don't-
Oh, if
don't
you just think about it. Try to imagine it. You
Yeah,
can't because you've
of
never
course.
been there, but try to imagine it. It's like I
Try to
can't.
imagine the most insane golf course ever that I've been to 3 times.
Me and Lurch will talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
We've had this
100%.
debate. We've had this debate at length, actually, and have asked a couple of guys on the pod, a couple of guests, this exact question. What do you think? Which hole is easier to make a lower score on? 12 at Augusta or 17 at TPC?
17. Lower score 17.
Hmm.
Higher score.
So for the average golfer, right? So I'm stepping up there. Worst wedge game on the planet. I have no idea where the next ball is going. You don't think for me, I have much more room to hit that ball up there at 12 and make a lower score. I can hit into a bunker. I can blade it. I can thin it. I can chunk it. If I get the chunks at TPC Sawgrass, I'm never getting the ball on that green.
You're not going to do it at 12 either.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
it's just factual that there's more room for
Stop. Time out. Your argument is first of all, it was just stop because it's wrong, because the green at 12 is a third of the size of 17. It has water in front, and behind the green is a bunch of azaleas, and you're not hitting out of Augusta National's azaleas. Not only can you not find it, you'll probably be escorted off the property and never be allowed back. Okay, so
Makes a lot of sense right now, Keith.
over the green in the water if you hit it over that green. So even if you add the bunkers in there, okay, even if you take the back edge of the back bunker and the front edge of the front bunker, it's still not bigger than the green at 17. And it's longer.
Make a lot of
And it's
sense.
Yeah, that's
And
a Frankie sitting back in his seat, got nothing right now. His mind is spinning for an answer and just nothing.
That's the best argument we've had for our side of it.
Yeah.
When I
For
start
sure.
like adjusting my Cisco little hat here, my visor, that's when you know I don't really have much more.
All
to
right,
say.
yeah. Why don't you go ahead and argue with a tour player about which hole is harder?
I'm thinking visually, man. Like there's a lot more chances for me to hit a poor shot and still be safe for my second shot than at
No.
Augusta. Why
No.
no? Why no?
Because you have azaleas behind the green, which might as well be water because you're actually re-teeing from a lost ball. Okay, so you can't just go to the drop zone. Okay, so you can go to the drop zone if you hit it over the green on 17. You can't do that at 12. If you hit it short of the green, it's still in the water. And then the edge from the azaleas to the edge to the water is still smaller than 17 in Augusta. And the hole's 30 yards longer. Well, maybe not 30. Probably 15 yards longer.
Yeah.
17's a trampoline. Did you watch the way those balls just bounce off that green into the water? It's not that's no walk.
That's not typical. I don't think that's
That's
not
no
typical.
walk in the park, Trent.
It's a gap wedge. Okay, I've hit 7-iron into 12.
2019, 5 of the last 6 players to come through the last 2 groups who were playing the best golf on the planet in the hardest tournament hit it in the water.
I mean,
When you step up to 12, what's your thought process? How are you deciding between a 7, a 9, an 8? Is it just something
Thought
you
process
feel
is, man, Frankie's an idiot. Look how hard this hole is.
after you think that?
now we're talking about how hard it is after you said it was easier.
Well, I also think 17 is fucking incredibly hard as well.
Well, then you just need to go to the range and practice a little bit because 17's not that hard. 17's hard to make birdie on.
It's always a good answer.
It's hard to make birdie on. It's not hard to make par on. For a tour pro, yes, the average player can make a bigger number on 17, but I don't necessarily think that it's easier. Okay.
You
I mean,
teetered on my side there for a second. You saw my eyebrows go up. You teetered on my side there for a second because we're
There's no
talking average
teetering.
players.
There's
we're
no
talking
teetering.
we're talking hacks out here, man. If I get the sprays at 17, you might as well just pack me up right there because I'm never getting that thing on that little island.
yeah,
Ever.
Yeah, but there's a chance you'll never get it on the green at 12. Like
Yeah,
if you're in that
Exactly.
back bunker,
Exactly. The
you're
green
just
is smaller.
blading
It's
it
like a
back,
third of the
you're
size.
Lurch, I can't laser one into that front bunker and just put one onto the green and now I'm putting as opposed to just
You could do that on
never having that
17.
You
There's a
say-
front
you
bunker
say
on
late-
17.
You say laser that thing into the bunker? Yeah, I mean, if you're in the bunker
Yeah.
on 17, I don't know
You're
if
a
you're
hack.
a walk in
You're
the park.
not
Right. Like if you can hit that front bunker on 12, you can hit the green on 12. Like the bunker is
Thank you.
plenty small. So just to think you're like, oh, I could totally just play in that front bunker, get up and down. It's like, yeah, you could totally do a lot of this things in life and you're just going to fail at them just again and again. 12, I would argue, if you get into a ball where it's past the pin and you're in that back bunker, your best case scenario might be just to wedge it back to 100 yards and start over rather than try to get delicate and have it roll in the water. And
Yeah,
so
go
if
the
you
same
get to
place,
17,
+1.
right, yeah, just get me back
That's a good
over there.
point.
I might as well re-tee.
Dude.
If the ball goes long of the green, I'm just re-teeing and I'm saying I'm not going back there, so I'll just keep playing from here.
Tiger Woods, the greatest player to ever pick up a golf club, made a 10 on that hole the last time he played it.
All right, time out.
Frankie thinks he's making an up and down out of the front bunker, no problem.
Yeah, I'll just laser one into the front bunker. What are you talking about?
Riggs,
Think about
I
this.
can't actually look at you in that visor when you come through. I mean, you just got a helmet head coming at it. It's when you lean forward with that thing that's
can't.
resting on your glasses and literally a foot from either ear, it's the most preposterous look of all time.
It's almost as
Good boy.
Frankie thinking 12's easier than 17.
Oh man,
So-
Made me wear this fucking hat. What do you want me to do?
Seriously, think about how many guys have lost the Players Championship on 17 and how many guys have lost the Masters on 20. Not like some guy that's missing the
Another good
cut,
argument.
middle of the pack, right? I'm talking the guys that are playing good coming down the street. It happens at 12 every year. Jordan Spieth, Francesco, Brooks, all those guys, right? No one on people are winning the golf tournament on 17, like when Kiz and Ricky Fowler were making birdie, hitting it over to the back right pin.
it's like we prepped Keith for this question to
Yeah,
bury
he's just-
Frankie.
Frankie just
making
keeps
a good
leaning
point.
back, fixing his hat.
Great
He's
guest.
just
One of the
dying
greatest
to
guests
get
you ever
to
had.
the-
So, all right, now I lose the argument to you. It's fine. I want to hear your thought process on 12. We hear about you'll have to look at the top of the trees. The wind can swirl. How are you deciding the difference between a 7-iron, an 8-iron, a 6-iron, and not like what when you step up to 12 at Augusta? What's going on in your head?
Well, I mean, everyone should take the page out of Tiger's book on this hole, where he just picks the dead center of the green, and no matter where the pin is, and hits it there. And then that gives you the biggest margin of error because, like, that's what he did in 2019 when he won the Masters. Everybody's going for this front pin. They're trying to make birdie, comes up short, goes in the water, right? Or then they go at the pin, but they use the middle of the green yardage, and then it goes over the back, right? And then you're making another bad score. So he goes middle of the green in terms of like width and depth, and he aims right there, okay? So then hopefully that's a good number, right? And then there's not much wind. If it's not a good number, you try to figure out what the wind's doing and take the club that the wind would help. So if it's downwind, take the less club, and then wind, take the more club, and you go there. And then you just hope you hit a good shot. And I've played there. I've played there not in the Masters and been nervous on that tee. And then when you get there in 2019 with those crowds and you get there, you just please give me a good number. Please give me a good number to that middle of the green. And then you just have to go from there because that wind, I don't know if you remember, but in 2019, when we played there, we played off 2 tees, right, on Sunday because of that windstorm coming in.
Yeah.
Which was the first time the Masters has done that since maybe the 80s or 90s. I don't know the actual facts on that, but I teed off number 10. So I'm on the golf course hearing the roar on Tiger, and we're trying to figure out what the wind's doing on all these other holes. I can't imagine down that little valley, the wind's starting to pick up 15, 20 miles an hour going all different directions. And then that's why he beat everybody. The discipline to hit it to the middle of the green and try to figure that wind was just absolutely incredible.
Could you
And then
tell
let's
out there
not
just from the
underplay-
roars and the noise that what was going on with Tiger? Could you get a sense?
I had to ask my buddy. My buddy was out there watching me like an idiot. He was watching me finish like 40th and not watching Tiger. And I had to go over there. I was like, what is going on? What is happening? And so then
And Tiger went up and just stood on the green too to just solidify the win. So I mean, it was a little bit
right. So I finish and I run into the clubhouse and I'm sitting there with Justin Thomas, and Justin Thomas and I are watching. We have to watch on TV. So we sit in the clubhouse and watch Tiger play 16, 17, and 18 to win, and then walk outside and just see him walk from 18 over to the scorers tent. And I mean, I felt like I was 10 years old again, and I just finished playing in a tournament.
Man.
I got the
That
chills.
gave me the chills. I got the
Yep.
chills.
The impact this guy has had, that he has his competitors and his peers rushing off the golf course to go see him finish up, and then run out like children to get a glimpse of like Santa Claus walking from his workshop to the
Waving their
sleigh.
visor around.
It's insane. I'm picturing that scene in the Polar Express. I'm getting real deep into Christmas movies here, where like Santa comes out and he's trying to look around to see if he can see Santa. Gosh, man, Tiger's not real. What's your best experience with Tiger Woods? Is that up there for you? Just like as just his being, is you being there in 2019?
Well, I've fortunately I've played with him twice, and I played with him like a month later, pretty much at
Wow.
Memorial that year in 2019, and we were both probably in 15th place on Sunday. And you know, he's in his Sunday red, and we're playing, and he's 7 under through 12 at Memorial, and he's tied for second, and we're standing on 13T. And dude, I have never seen something so perfect. Every shot was right where it's supposed to be. He's the only golfer that I know that really shapes every single shot according to the situation. Like if it's the wind's into, hit it lower. If the flag's on the right, he'll fade it in there. If it's downwind, he'll hit it higher and draw it. Like every single iron shot is, you know, shaped to the where it's supposed to be. And then for all those golf nerds out there, he's using probably the spinniest golf ball on tour. So into the wind, he's flighting these shots that are just like, he's hitting like, I'll never forget on number 12, he hit a low cut 7-iron into the wind with the spinniest golf ball I've ever seen. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out how not to hit 6-iron because the wind's in the face. And I use the lowest spinning golf ball on tour. And it's just, that's when you know that he's just like, he's the best player to ever live, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then I had that experience where I think he made a bogey coming down. He probably finished like 6th or 7th, but it didn't matter. It was incredible. And then I played with him at the PGA on Saturday at Harding Park, and we kind of reversed. I had probably my best round, and I probably shot 3 or 4 under. And it was because I'd had that prior experience with Tiger. So I was kind of like, okay. And we knew each other, and we could actually like talk walking up and down the fairways. And he got to the point where he was kind of just talking about his mentality on certain shots and, you know, his practice mentality and stuff. So both of the times I played with him are equally tied at the top because they were completely different. One, he was an absolutely laser focused, kicking ass, and the other time he was super relaxed, no fans, nobody around, and he could actually talk and walk up and down the fairway, and he wasn't playing great. So,
Dude, I remember
Way
that
you
Harding Park
talk
round.
about
I
Tiger
walked
Woods.
the entire round with you guys. I was there with Robbie Mack. He and I like walked the entire round, and that was COVID. There were no fans out there, and we had like a private show.
it was so cool.
When you talk about Tiger Woods, like people can go back and watch this on the Cisco WebEx. Like I was starting to tear up. I don't know why. The way you described how he shapes his shot, something was going on with my right eye where it started to well, and I actually let it keep going because I wanted one drop to fall. It would have been phenomenal podcasting. But you have like such a, the way you described it was so, the imagery was amazing. I was picturing like a slight breeze coming in and him going with it. It felt like a Pocahontas.
It is majestic.
Like,
Yeah, it, like the way he talks about it is majestic. Like you can paint that picture in your head of Tiger just like whistling that shot in there in just the most beautiful form.
I'm also, Keith, I'm picturing you too on 12 stepping up, being like, okay, yeah, low cut 7 here. Yeah, here we go. Just like spinning one up into the,
got it.
into the water.
Oh, dude, I had no chance. I mean, and so here's the funny thing. I'm walking off number 11, and he's gone first on every single hole. Okay. And I tell Joey LaCava, I was like, I'm going to take this damn tee back from you guys eventually. and so then on 12, he hits that shot. I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to take this tee back. And then it's happened on like maybe 14. I made birdie. And I made maybe a bogey that Tiger made. And I hit the tee and so I teed off first. And Joey's like, congrats on the tee. I wish it didn't happen that way, though. Like, didn't even give me credit. Tiger made bogey. Yeah, you don't really because he made bogey.
You didn't really earn it. You didn't really earn
Right.
it. Something impressive, young buck.
Wow.
That's awesome. I'm with Frankie, man. I'm getting the chills the more you're kind of talking about Tiger. No offense.
He's the best. He's the best.
You've played with Tiger Woods, which is awesome, and then now you're gonna have to face the 4-man scramble at some point here. We here on this Cisco WebEx, these 4 faces here that you're seeing, we're a problem when we were put together. And how do you think that you would do in a match against us? We're 3-0 all time. Is that what it is? 3-0 all time against Tour pros?
Yeah. Kiz, Joel, and Pat.
Kiz, Joel, and Pat. We absolutely put them to bed.
Wow. And those guys are the 3 best shit talkers on tour.
No doubt.
And so like clearly that's not going to be a factor against you guys. So the only factor is actually good play apparently, or maybe guys wear a visor, you'll throw your own selves off. So maybe that's the handicap is everyone
Wear this hat. I won't be able to hit a golf ball.
I think we might have to.
I like that. I think it's visor versus visor. we have to make our own visor. You come in with your visor, and it's a battle to the death. I mean,
I was gonna say, to be fair, Pat took us to 18. Kiz took us to 18, and Joel just didn't have a great day. I don't even remember how far he went, but
felt like 80. We thought it was his brother, like Dan Damon.
Yeah, but like it's been close in pretty much every single match. So we don't blow people out of the water. I know Frankie's trying to sell it to you like we're the evil empire, but it comes down to the end usually.
Dude, multiple times I had to look on my phone to make sure Joel was a PGA Tour player. We were on like the 3rd hole, and I'm like sitting in the cart just Googling him, being like, "Are we sure that this guy actually is on tour?"
2 months later, he won on tour.
He was putting his shoes on during the first hole. He didn't have his shoes on.
He was like, this fucking guy sucks out here. It was not to be believed how bad he was. I mean, he was hitting balls out of bounds. He was behind trees. He's like, Frank, you want to see me turn this thing around a tree? I'm like, sure. He just hit it into the tree. It's like, you're worse than my buddies. This is insane.
He was going for an empathy vote, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then we did the math, and he shot what, like 2 under? So, I mean, at the end of the day, if that's his worst day.
Play? Are we just talking
wherever you want to play? Wherever you want to play. I mean, obviously your home course you'll have a massive advantage on. So maybe we find something. Because you go out where is your home course? Like you go out there, you're gonna shoot 63, right? No problem. Your eyes closed.
Well, I mean, Sea Island, none of the courses are that easy. They clearly have tour events there, and that's where I live now, in Sea Island. But I don't know. It's a good question. We'll have to ponder that. If you ask me my top 5, is that like the kind of prelude to say, hey, we want you to take us to one of the top 5?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
exactly right.
A little.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We should do it.
We'll just take it. We need to take a poll. We need to take a viewership poll of where we do it and what would think would be best, and try to figure it out from there.
Ooh, okay. I like that. So we're gonna have to choose 4 golf courses to put it in a Twitter poll. So should we come up with those courses right now? We'll put a Twitter poll. Where are we going to face Keith Mitchell in the 4-man scramble? When the time is right, we're going to face him. Where are we playing? What's our 4 options?
All right. Yep. Can we do 5? Because we got 5 of us.
Wait, Twitter poll, you can only do 4, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so X out. Whose decision are we going to X out?
Are we all going to pick?
Everyone puts one down.
I think that's a good idea, except we have to know where you want to play, because you're going to have to play pretty well to beat us, is what we're saying.
That's right. We're a force. Believe it or not, these 4 idiots that you're looking at right here are a complete force. Riggs is an absolute.
When these visors come out, baby, we are unstoppable.
Like, we let the other 3 guys, they all picked pretty much, right? Well, except Kiz.
Look at this. Look, I mean,
yes. I think you picked the 4.
Yeah, I think you pick the four. You're gonna know where you're gonna want to take us down. I mean, for us, like we're just gonna pick Augusta National. I mean, Cypress. Like it's not gonna be like you're not gonna be able to take us there. I mean, like it's not gonna. You have to pick something realistic here.
You said those are not realistic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Totally
Got something going on here. Okay.
kidding. If I had that much pull, I don't think I'd
Yeah.
go.
We should go to Sea Island. We've never been there.
Oh yeah.
Y'all never been
No,
there?
that'd be great.
No.
No.
Oh, those courses on the water, they look fucking sick. Kiz wins there all the time, so we beat him. We can beat you there.
All right, we'll do. I'll to Chattanooga and Sea Island. Those are my two home bases. I'll put two places on each down there, and then should we ask permission from the clubs first, or do we just ask
Yes.
later?
I don't hate just kind of forcing their hand. Usually, if we just tweet it into existence, be like everybody wants this, but you have to host us.
All right. Well, we'll definitely Sea Island will definitely be on there.
All
We
right.
can need.
All right.
They got Seaside. They got Seaside and Plantation are the two ones we played the RSM on.
Okay.
Those are pretty sick.
This could be a problem for us, honestly, because you got to keep it in the fairway.
We could do Sweden's
Who you
Cove,
playing?
but y'all
would be sweet.
Sweden's Cove because you can find your ball pretty much anywhere, and the greens are what makes it crazy. What makes CI is what is all the marsh and the water and the wind, etc.
Yeah. We need to find the ball. That's a little inside baseball for 4-man scramble. Is we need to be able to find the ball when we face Pat Perez. We played in Arizona, and there were a couple times where 3 balls were gone
in the rocks.
Gone, and we needed just that one hero, and usually it was Lurch to somehow figure out how to hit that ball into the fairway. I mean, one time we went 3 OB. Lurch stepped up and hit one OB as well, but it hit a rock and went right back into the middle of the fairway, and we made a birdie. So, you could beat us. There's no way. I was obviously coming off saying I was very cocky because we are 3-0 against PGA Tour pros.
We fucking suck.
We suck, and there's a lot of opportunity. If you put us in the middle of a marsh, we're gonna make a couple bogeys. So,
hole in one. Okay, hole in one is something that everybody cherishes. We get a lot of questions about holes in one. Holes in one? Yeah, holes in one. It's always been confusing to me. People say holes in one and not hole in ones.
I think you can say whichever one, and I do not care which one is grammatically correct.
I don't either, but I do feel like the general population has accepted that holes in one is correct. Like, how many holes in one do you have? But I don't think they're not asking how many holes have you played in one. It's like, how many of these cool accomplishments called a hole in one do you have? Like,
I also think
I have 5 hole in ones.
I also think we as humans have the final say on grammar. It's ours.
We invented it.
Right. It's our thing. So if enough people say hole in ones, then it just becomes that, regardless of what the smart people of the world technically say.
Great point.
Have you ever heard about or watched the show about them coming up with the dictionary?
No.
Dude, I used to think as a kid, for whatever reason, I was like, I had this picture in my brain of 2 guys just sitting there, just being like, word. Now you come up with a word. Now you come up with a word. Boom, that's the dictionary. That's pretty much what happened.
Really?
It's like the Webster's Dictionary. There's a show on Netflix. Something I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of it, and essentially, this man was tasked with running the operation of, okay, the English language has been here, it's there. There's all kinds of different dialects and meanings, and we are going to run this operation of categorizing all of it and putting it in a dictionary where you actually define and list all known words. And what they did was go through all literature of all time, everything that they could possibly find. And then they had to get verification. So you had to have a second literary, example of this being used. And if it was used in that other literary publication in a different form, then that word would have a couple different definitions. They went through every word ever to come up with that. And again, I didn't finish the whole series. I forget what it's called. I think it's on Netflix. But as they're talking about it, the guy's like, boy, is this an unbelievably difficult task. And I'm sitting there thinking you're trying to put on a list every word ever.
I just picture a guy like in an interview with a lower third that his name just says Webster, and he's just like, it's the hardest thing that we're trying to do right now, and I don't know why we even started doing this.
Yeah, no,
Ever. Like, what do we could be doing? Like, we could start a fishing market or something, and we're gonna, you know, what we're gonna do? We're gonna sit down. We're gonna try to categorize and list every word ever.
feels like something Cisco would be able to do, not us. My brain.
Cisco, with their technology and them powering an inclusive future, is maybe a company that could accomplish that task. You could tune in for somebody trying to accomplish the task of getting $1 million hole-in-one, because there's a $1 million hole-in-one for charity presented by Cisco this Saturday, February 5th at the at&t Pebble Beach Pro-Am on CBS. Tune in 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, we'll do Sweetens Cove or Sea Island. We'll put the Twitter poll up, and then we'll decide. Then we'll go and ask for forgiveness.
I like it.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, perfect.
Who do you play with this week? Do you have like a go-to guy for your amateur?
So, I have supposedly an awesome partner. However, I can't announce what pairings come out tomorrow. So I don't know. I'm not supposed to say anything till tomorrow.
There's a little behind the scenes going on. Is that what's happening here? I'll say this. This won't come out till Thursday's show.
Oh, it won't?
Fuck no.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, so y'all hear it here first. You can't go early tweet it between now and tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. But Josh Allen.
Oh
shit.
Wait.
I didn't see that coming, to be honest with you.
That's
I
epic.
I got the call. I was like, wait, he like literally played football like 4 days. Doing here.
And he's hot in the streets right now, man.
Oh.
One of the best athletes on the planet. Just has so much swagger, so much confidence. One of the nicest guys ever. Man, that's going to be a good round of golf.
He's still
That is
sitting on
awesome.
that bench in KC, I think, waiting for the football. I mean, holy shit. That's amazing.
They're gonna let me play, right? I know this is overtime, but they gotta let me play.
I got to get the football. He's like, what? And now I'm with Keith Mitchell. How did that happen?
It's a poor guy. He should be playing. Yeah, he should have been playing, and now he has to play with me. A different sport with a chop, like non-athlete chop.
Oh,
He put out a tweet yesterday talking about how hot in the streets he is. He put out a tweet yesterday after the coin flip. He just put out Pain. It got 474,000 likes. That guy is just hot in the streets. That's great.
Insane.
Yeah, he is.
So are you gonna talk him up? Like, how does that work? Are you gonna like kind of go asking him questions about his season, or are you just gonna let it like flow? Like, how do you go into those things?
Well, you learn not to be fanboy. Like, you can be fanboy like behind the scenes, but not like the guy. And you learn that pretty quick when you play with Tiger. Like, oh, Tiger, I remember what you did in '97 Masters. I was 5 years old and watching. Tiger didn't give a shit. He's like, dude, get out of here. But like everyone says. So like, I'm not gonna be like Josh Allen. Like, how'd you feel in the fourth quarter coming down the?
I don't think we still haven't learned that yet.
Yeah, difference between you and I is I'd just be like, dude, fucking how's that fourth quarter, man? You know?
I heard a good trick that that a guy did to one of the AMs is he played this whole prank on him about this lucky tee. He's like, look, I know you're nervous. First tee box, Pebble Beach, you know, the big crowd, but I got this lucky tee I want you to use. And they had shaved the top edges off.
Oh.
So he's trying to put the ball on there, and it keeps falling off, and it falls off here, and it keeps falling off, and he can't. It's like so he starts getting nervous, and he starts shaking, and he can't get the ball on the tee. So I was thinking that would be a good way to break it in with Josh Allen instead of being like, "Hey man, like good playing this year, like really rooting for you." It's like, "Hey man, try to put this ball in tee in front of 30,000 people. You thought you were nervous in the NFL playoff game. Try this."
Dude, that happened to me, and it happened to me. It wasn't a joke tee. When we played Kisner at Pinehurst, we teed up the first 4-man scramble ever. I was the first to tee off, and I just could not get my ball on the tee, and I wanted to cry. I wanted to run away.
Kiz called you out for it. Kiz goes like, "Oh, you too nervous to get your ball on the tee there, Trent?" And then you're like,
"It got so bad that
really am." Yeah.
It got so bad that Dewey, Kisner's caddy, who was clearly on Kisner's team and wants Kisner to win, he looks at me and goes, "Just breathe." And I was like, "All right." Dewey, the nicest dude in the world. Yeah, no, but the trick tee, that would drive me insane. But that's a good idea for Josh Allen.
Good amount of people watching you too on that.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We had people there watching, and we had people watching on Instagram.
Oh, that's
We
right.
probably had 200 people on the first tee watching in person.
Tough, really tough.
Think about this though. Josh Allen's more famous than any golfer in the field this week. So imagine how many people are going to come watch him play a different sport. So he's going to be, he's not in his comfort zone playing in front of other people. He's playing something completely different. And then doing that to him on the first tee. I mean, somebody told me that, and I was like, I think that might be pushing our new friendship too far.
Yeah.
That is true. We just watched him play pretty much a perfect football game, and they just didn't get the ball at the end. And now he's got to go do something that is so imperfect, it's hard to wrap your head around in front of a lot of people.
In front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
That'll be fun, though.
It's absolutely horrifying. Well, good luck.
Does anybody good Josh Allen stories that I could so I can not fanboy him and talk to him about something like normal?
No.
No, I mean, we've done, we did a pizza review with him once, and then he was just, I remember it was right before he got drafted. And Dave and I were like pretty excited to meet him because there was a lot of hype about him, obviously, coming out. He had all these like the big hands, and like everyone was like, oh, how's he gonna do in the NFL, and where's he gonna go in the draft? And we're like, all right, this guy, like, we're about to get like possibly a #1 draft pick at that time. We didn't know where he was gonna go. I remember meeting him, and he had his whole family with him, his like girlfriend, and he was like the nicest, like buttoned up guy of all time, where like he was nervous to be around us. I remember we did the pizza review, and I went back, and at the time I'm a Jets fan, so we were gonna have a really high pick, and I'm like, and all my buddies went to Josh Allen, and I'm like, dude, we can't draft Josh Allen. This guy's like a child. He was like a big teddy bear child. Like, he has like no brain whatsoever. He was like, hello, Mr. Portnoy. Thank you so much for having us do a pizza review. Like, I love Barstool. I was like, how's this guy gonna fucking go out and dominate in the NFL? And I couldn't have been more wrong about this
You're a
guy.
bad
He is
scout.
a stone cold killer. He's an absolute. So, I mean, the one thing I'd want to know from him is like, how the hell did he turn that switch on? I mean, I'm sure he was like that in college. I just didn't watch him, but we can all agree he's turned on a switch in the NFL, even from his first season. Like, something has happened to Josh Allen where he's the guy. He got the swagger somehow.
Maybe that's what you tell him. You tell him, hey, I was just on the Foreplay podcast. That guy, Frankie Brelli, who used to film the pizza reviews, didn't think you were going to be shit. Didn't think you were going to be anything.
So happy when the Jets didn't draft you because he was like, you would make the Jets worse.
Be like, you proved that little fucking idiot wrong.
Fuck. The things I'd do for Josh Allen to be on the Jets right now is actually pretty insane.
The Jets are so cursed, he wouldn't be Josh Allen if he was on the Jets.
Hey,
I actually agree with that.
How funny would it be if something changed between now and Thursday and we've had this whole talk and then they put me with some other job and it's not even playing with Josh Allen?
We won't edit anything. We'll put it out just as is. This is not a fact-based show in any way.
Oh, no.
Who's the quarterback for the Jets right now? I can't think of his name.
Zach
What if
Wilson.
they subbed him out?
Yuck.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What if they subbed out him, Josh Allen, for him?
You guys finished dead last.
Wow.
We'll probably do that anyway.
Something about the colors, man. I think
I hope the Josh Allen thing happens for you. That would be so cool.
I'm excited. That's what I've been told, and maybe they told me not to tell anybody because they were just playing a prank on me. I don't know.
Again, it's still coming out on Thursday's show. We won't edit or change anything. So
That's perfect. That's perfect.
yeah, what's been said has been said. Well, have fun in Pebble. Are you playing out there today?
Today's a practice day. I'm gonna get my clubs worked on my. I guess just for the golf nerds out there, got to work on my yardages. Like, the ball goes nowhere out here because you're at sea level, thick, and it's cold. That marine layer. So I mean, seriously, you hit a good solid shot, and it could go 5 to 10 yards shorter on any given club. And I got to learn to dial those yardages in because they're not going what they go in other, like Scottsdale. The ball goes like 5 to 10 yards farther. So here, I'm going to go work on my yardages today. Make sure they're all locked in. And
When you do that with the TrackMan, you get the TrackMan out?
Yeah. So I'll do that. And you got to take the normalize off. I don't know. There's 2 settings. Normalize tells you what it would do at home. So you put like what it is, your average temperature at home and your average golf ball. And so that's how I work on my yardages everywhere. And then you do actual and how far it's going there. So it tells you actually how far it's going relative to home. It's incredible. The technology these days is absolutely incredible. I'll probably WebEx my coach and check my swing out and make sure everything's good, and do some putting drills because we're on Poana greens. These greens are just gnarly. I don't know if y'all see Will Zalatoris' putt.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's what we're putting on out here. So I'll get some work on there, and then we'll start playing the practice rounds the next couple of days.
His putting, and I mean, we don't have to talk about another guy's putting because it's his thing. But fuck, man,
Don't talk
That
about
guy-
another man's putting.
Yeah, don't go on down that road. That's nasty.
that guy
Nasty.
can't putt, dude. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Dude, if you're telling me he can't putt and he loses in a playoff in one of the strongest fields of the year, then you're technically telling me he is the greatest ball striker to ever live.
Bury him again. Bury
I like
Frankie
when
again.
Keith comes on the show and just buries Frankie over and over and over again.
It's
That's
totally
been-
relative, right? He's obviously can putt. He's fucking Will Zalatoris. He's a PGA pro. We're talking about we're keeping it relative to like when he needed to make putts. And
Okay,
they weren't even close. He was hitting off the toe. He didn't even sniff the hole like that. Relative to
But
all the guys he's
yeah.
playing with, that was bad.
I'm-
No,
about Will Zalatoris and his putting. Last year, he was 16th in strokes in approach putting. I don't know if you know what approach putting is, but it's how far the distance your ball is from the hole after your first putt. Okay.
lag putting. Like,
So no, it doesn't matter if it's 10 feet, if it's 50 feet, whatever. How close?
Okay.
And if you make it, it's 0, right? So
Mhm.
it even equates to that. He was 16th in approach putting last year. So that means he has some of the best speed, which equates to feel on tour. Think about that. Now, yes, he's hit some putts that don't look pretty on camera, but I promise you a lot of other guys on the field have done that. They just weren't on camera because they weren't near the leaderboard, right? And then the
Yeah.
putt he hit yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, to win in regulation was going literally in the left center of the hole and hit something and moved out to the left. Like there's a good chance that ball was going in the hole if the grass wasn't there. So yeah, Will Zalatoris might have had a couple, bad putting strokes that the ball missed that were on TV only because he was in the lead.
So Frankie's wrong again? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I think it's bullshit that people say that Will Zalatoris is a shitty putter because of 2 videos that people have caught in slow-mo. Like, I mean, it's bullshit. Yes, those were not
Making a lot of sense
but there
again.
were 2 out of 2,000 that he's hit.
Great point. It's a great point. Listen, we were
Here's the sit back and fix. Here's the sit
Frankie
back
just
and
walked
fix.
into a punch. Just walked into a big old
Hey,
punch.
I'll take the punches. We were all at the fucking tournament going crazy about his putting. So like I'll take the punches. Fine. We were there in the suite. By the way, an amazing suite. We haven't talked about that. Watching golf from a suite on the 17th hole at Torrey Pines was like watching the Yankees play the Red Sox. I've never not because of I'm talking about the actual viewing experience. Like I felt like I was at a baseball game. You're sitting down in the shade, you got a comfortable chair, you've got a beer, you've got some chips and dip and wings. I've never experienced golf like that in my life. And then we watched Will Zalatoris on the screen missing all these putts, and we got a little animated about it. But I'm glad that we have someone that knows what the fuck they're talking about that can tell me, no, you're wrong.
Yeah. Agreed.
Too.
Approach putting stat. Look it up.
I would love to know what my approach putting stat is. I mean, sometimes I leave it outside 10 feet. I mean, I would
Last in all
Last on the
amateurs,
planet.
under five handicap. Last.
Yeah, I would say that's probably my worst category. That's my worst skill.
Oh
Approach
no, we
putting.
know that. We're just saying you're the worst at it too. I think below 5. I think that's what we agreed on,
Yeah.
right? With the Colt.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
no, we
we
did
said
agree
that.
on that with Colt. Yeah, that I was the worst putter, sub 5 handicap, potentially in the world, which rocked me a little bit. But I do think actually that I think even what's worse than that somehow is my approach putting is the worst it could ever be. I mean, I took a 20-footer
never putt it, and then someone says that's good. Like never.
No, I know. I would love the stat I would always love to know for myself that I'll never get as an amateur is distance made putting. Sometimes like a pro will be like, a crazy day, they'll make 180 feet of putts or like just an outrageous stat. I mean, sometimes mine's 18.
You might be
feet,
under
just
10
all 1
feet.
foot
You might be
tapping.
under 10 feet per round.
Oh my
Really bad.
Maybe that's why Zalatoris did that, because he hits his first putts and his lead shot's so close that he just picks them up in all his practice rounds.
His ball striking Dude, Friday, third round, he shot 65 with negative 0.35 strokes gained putting. 65 he shot
Right.
out there.
If you hit it that good, like imagine if you hit all the par fives and two, okay, and you two putt for birdie, and then you hit 3 wedges close, like inside 10 feet. You don't even have the opportunity to like gain strokes. It doesn't even matter. Because strokes gained putting is like a putt that you made from a far distance. So he shot 7 under, and he didn't have to make a putt.
Right.
The world.
Jesus.
So like that stats can be misleading. It's like, well, he hit every other green to 30 feet like he was supposed to, and then he attacked the flags he was supposed to, and he hit them close, and he 2-putted for birdie on the par fives. And you're like, okay, well, I made no mistakes. I lagged my 30-footers up there, and I took advantage of the par fives and my 3 wedges.
I went to 2 feet yesterday, and no one in the group said a word. I almost made a hole in one, guys. It was nuts. Like, thing was tracking to the hole. Stopped. Big putt in this match that we were playing out here at the Grand Del Mar. Fucking unbelievable golf course. I really liked it. No one said a word. Not a word. And I'm standing over this putt, and I'm like, what the fuck are these guys doing right now? I almost
miss the putt?
this thing. Bro, it didn't even touch the hole.
I know. The most rattling thing you can do to Frankie is
Bro.
if he gets a good shot, saying nothing, because he doesn't understand that nobody will congratulate him.
And
So if you do that the whole time, he's just going to be thinking about why nobody said anything. And never once, I bet, did you ever actually think about the putt, because all you were thinking about is, how did I hit such a good shot and nobody said, Frankie, you're the man.
Now we're just giving Keith the playbook on how to rattle Frankie whenever
Well,
we
dude.
play him.
Yeah, but
Well,
we'll
dude,
be there.
like,
We'll
what
be
is
there
how-
with
why are
you.
we doing
Hey,
this
Frankie,
now?
excellent
Well,
job.
dude, also, you know how like when guys are actually good at golf and someone does that to them, like JT did this during the Ryder Cup when they didn't give him the putt, he drained it and then did the putter thing where he showed how far he
The
was.
grip.
I was
Yeah.
doing that before I hit the putt. I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me? I'm already asking for an out before I've even struck the ball. I literally put the putter down. I'm like, what are we doing here? This is up to where the dude. It was as close to where they put the little price tag on the putter. It wasn't just. It was inside the grip like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, are we not giving this to me right now? And of course, I didn't even sniff the hole. And they all walked. It was the classic. Once I missed it, their backs were already to me, laughing as they walked to the golf cart.
They were gone.
They all knew immediately. And you know, too, they're
Make the
hitting
next
each
one?
other as
Did
I'm
you make the
standing
next
over
one?
the green. I just picked. I threw it. I threw it. I like scooped it and tossed it into the trees. I couldn't believe I made a 3.
Did you make the putt for par?
No, I didn't even attempt it. I just fucking
Yeah.
walked away.
Well,
Picked it up.
so you're saying you could have made bogey there?
Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. I lost the hole.
putting,
The
yeah.
guy made it 2. I lost the hole. I needed to make the 2 to push the hole. The guy fucking drained one from like 25 feet and then made me putt it. So it was like I was just rattled. Like I watched the guy drain this putt from 25 feet to win the hole, and he's like, "All right." Like I'm thinking, "All right, yeah, we just push." He's like, and he didn't say a word. I just lost it. My partner's like, "Ugh," and just walked to the car, just like
This
sucks.
guy, this
We're
guy's
not
shitting on
advertising with
this
these
guy
guys.
is shitting on Zalatoris, by the way.
I fucking
right.
suck. What the fuck?
What
Relative.
What are we doing? Relatives ass. Like no.
What are you talking about? I can we're allowed to talk about professional golfers like in their world, right? I'm allowed to say like, oh, this pitcher sucks today in baseball. Meanwhile, obviously he's better pitcher than I am. And what are you fucking nuts? Are you crazy? Or else there's no sports watching then. Why are we watching sports then?
I was kidding, Frankie. You're gonna be okay.
You shut the fuck up.
He did the sit back, mid sit back.
I think we got him.
Fuck up.
I think we got him. I think we got him.
I'm wearing
I
this
think so,
damn
too.
freaking visor. It's getting me all rattled.
All right, this guy has to go practice. You need to go
Yeah, he
practice.
does.
Get those yardages dialed in, Keith.
I'm gonna take some of Frankie's intensity right now and put it into my training session right here. We're
Channel
gonna
it.
be
Channel
Oh,
that shit. Yeah.
You're gonna have a good week this week, my man. You're gonna have a good week this week.
All right, Keith. Well, good luck out there. Good luck with Josh Allen. Hopefully he's actually your partner. Otherwise, it'll be a weird segment that we did.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we'll be rooting for you.
Visor tip. Thank you.
Visor tip. I don't have mine
Visor
on,
tip.
but-
Mine's going to fall through my head, I think. But yeah.
Thank you, Keith.
Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Keith, you're the man.
See you, Keith.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Appreciate it.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know what's happening February 5th on CBS at 12 p.m. Eastern time?
$1 million hole-in-one challenge sponsored by Cisco.
For charity, no less.
They are playing on the 17th hole at Pebble Beach.
Yep.
Ever heard of it? So you'd think
Hard
hole
hole.
in one challenge.
Trent birded it. Trent birded it in real life.
Think this hole in one challenge at Pebble Beach would take place on 7. Nope. Cisco is making someone really hit a good golf shot here, and we attempted it, and it's very difficult. And if someone succeeds on this hole in one, I mean, it's a 181, 185 yard shot, like into the wind, going towards the ocean. The wind's coming off the ocean. It's a tough golf shot. At the end of the day, if someone succeeds on this, they deserve $1 million for charity, and that's going to be awesome to watch. I love the fact that we're going to see real golf shots into this hole. 7's a flip wedge, and anyone can get lucky with that. You're going to need to be a golfer, and you're going to need to hit a golf shot to win the $1 million Cisco for charity hole-in-one challenge.
Is it the 17th or the 7th?
17th, I'm pretty sure. That's what we played on.
We attempted on the 17th. So if they gave us 17 and everyone else is on 7, then someone needs to pay, because I hit 150 shots on 17 on simulator, and my arms are still reeling from the pain.
17 makes a lot more sense because that is an extremely difficult golf shot.
So hard.
Extremely difficult golf shot.
Tune in to CBS on Saturday. If it's 7, there we go. We're going to get a hole in one. If it's 17, it's going to be tough. And also, if it's 7, someone needs to pay for us having to play on 17 for 2 hours.
I don't think it's 7. I just heard you say 7 earlier, so I was confused.
Yeah.
17th hole, most likely. Tune in, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CBS, February 5th. The $1 million hole-in-one for charity, presented by Cisco. How we doing?
Well,
How's Pebble?
I actually haven't even been out on the course yet, but Pebble's nice.
Breaking news.
What'd you just get? You just travel yesterday?
I got here yesterday, and I did nothing.
Hell yeah. Those are the best kind of days. Where do they got you here? What is this? We were getting a little bit of a scoop. This is like the putting studio or something?
Yeah, I don't even know. What is it? Yeah, it is the putting studio here. It's actually pretty nice.
Must be part of their new build with the new course and everything.
What are we talking about today? Anything sketchy?
I don't know. You got anything sketchy you want to talk about?
Not really.
Exactly. If you want to talk about sketchy shit, we'll talk about sketchy shit.
I love talking about sketchy shit.
You guys see that thing with Jordan that he did? Maybe, what was it, like a couple days ago?
Yeah, the Sunday conversation.
I don't watch videos on the internet, but I've watched that video like 5 times, and I laugh every time I watch it.
Dude, it was Caleb.
Who is that guy? That was the first time I've ever seen him.
Caleb Presley. He's one of the funniest people on the planet. He, it's just one of those things that have taken off. Like his facial expressions, the questions he asks. Like
even the other guy is like funny too, and like the things that I don't know.
Glad balls,
dude. The secondhand anxiety I had from like going through texts and the response.
There's absolutely no chance I would have let that happen on my phone. But
no.
Right. I would sooner just start running away, just sprint away from the situation than give up my phone like that.
Dude, if this interview consisted of Daniel Berger reading my phone, the interview's over.
Yeah.
Like we've said a million times, my phone after that's going right in a river. I'm disappearing. The internet's never going to hear from me again. It's over.
I end up in jail if someone reads my phone. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where it goes if someone reads my phone.
All right, I think we kind of started, but we'll do a little intro here. We got the defending champion at the Pebble at&t Pro-Am, Daniel Berger, DB straight vibing. Hasn't seen the course yet, but actually you guys are going to get – we were talking with Keith Mitchell. You're supposed to get pretty good weather for Pebble Week.
Yeah, I mean, it's always touch and go here at Pebble. Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it can be sketchy, but I think the forecast is like 4 sunny days, so hopefully it stays like that.
Talk to me about – speaking of DB straight vibing, how long have you had the handle DB straight vibing?
I don't know. I guess I made Instagram like a while ago. I don't even remember, and it's been the same since. But a lot of people like that. I don't know why. It was just kind of like a spur of the moment thing. But
I think our generation has to deal with that a lot of times when it comes to gamer tags on Xbox or PlayStation and email.
Exactly.
No, I can feel that. Yeah, like I used to play like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So I can see that.
Oh, totally, man.
Dude,
My name, it was like Yanks Child 2000 or something. I'm like 26 years old playing Call of Duty with these ridiculous names.
No, it does get ridiculous, but I do think that's like you said, I remember that with like the aim name, and then emailing people, and you'd have a ridiculous email. I think Trent still has like a Yahoo email that he uses.
I do still have a Yahoo email. I've been loyal to them. They've been loyal to me as well, although they get hacked about twice a year, and everybody's information gets taken and it gets put onto some server somewhere that it's going to steal my identity. But I still have a Yahoo email. I like it. I think it works for me.
Dude, I remember like 4 years ago, was Call of Duty was going crazy through the office, and Big Cat like recruited me to play a little bit of Call of Duty with him, and obviously he had some big names with him. So like Julian Edelman would just play when he was injured. He would just play in our Call of Duty like crew, and his name, I'm not going to give it exactly, but it was legit like Jewel Ed's like 11 or something. And then after every game, he'd be like, yo, I'm getting all these messages of people. We'd be like, dude, your fucking handle is just your name. And he's never changed it from college the whole time. So talk to me about Pebble Week. It's an interesting week with the amateurs. You've clearly had success. You won last year. How different is it? Is a weird kind of pace out there with amateurs slapping it around?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's good and there's bad when it comes to Pebble, but I mean, there's more good than bad. But yeah, obviously the rounds tend to be a little slower. I mean, luckily that the weather is going to be good, which makes a huge difference. When you get the rain and you get the wind, and the amateurs don't quite have that skill level to be able to play in those conditions. That's when it really, really slows down. But as long as the weather's all right, it's cool. And I mean, obviously you get to see a bunch of people that you see on TV and that through different places, and so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing I've realized that every week for you guys is kind of different, right? Like every week's unique. It's got its own challenges. For us, like we're so mentally weak on the golf course. Like if we have to wait for like one par 5 or we're going to go for it, we got to wait for 4 extra minutes after pulling like a 3-wood.
Did you just say you're going for a par 5 and 2?
No, not with my swing speed. I'm not. But like we melt down, whereas like they'll show you guys, there'll be like a big hold up on a hole where you guys sit in a tee. I guess that stuff just doesn't affect you guys as much because you're used to it.
Absolutely, 100% does affect me. Actually, last week was pretty slow, and like I find myself like wondering how is it possible for these guys to play so slow in front? Because I'm a fast golfer. Like I think I have ADD, so as soon as I sit there for too long, I can't do it. But we did this thing where we moved the cut from 70 in ties to 65 in ties because they wanted to get rid of the Saturday cut and go to twosomes on the weekends. But like since they've done that, I don't know what's happened. Like we've played in threesomes like more than we ever have before on the weekends. So I don't know who planned that, but it didn't work out that well because the threesomes are way slower on the weekends.
Why were they doing that this past week? We were out there on Saturday. We had no idea why they were playing threesomes.
I guess like too many guys made the cut, but I mean, like first off, it's a Saturday finish, which is already like different. And then you move the cut from 70 to 65 and yet we're still playing threesomes. So I don't really understand it. I kind of stay out of the politics of it all. I just kind of do what I'm told and it is what it is.
You got to Pebble yesterday, but you say you didn't do anything. What do you do on a day off right before a tournament in a new place?
I say I did nothing. I mean, but I went to the gym, I saw my therapist, did some small like training stuff, but nothing golf related. Actually my back's been bothering me a little bit, so I've been trying to give that a little rest, and it didn't feel right to go hit balls yesterday. So I wanted to kind of give it a day to chill and see if it felt better today.
What is
successful people's nothing is much different than my nothing, Frankie's nothing, Riggs' nothing. I mean, what Daniel just described on his nothing day is more than I do on a normal day.
Remember,
to be fair though, like I can have those nothing days at all, but tournament week, you still want to make sure that you're kind of keeping the body moving and you're not just sitting around in bed doing nothing.
Fair.
Dude, remember at the height of the pandemic that one day I had 37 steps when we started recording the podcast?
Yeah.
And it was
I remember
6
that.
o'clock in the night podcast. We all showed our steps. I swear to God, dude, that's barely enough to get to the bathroom.
No, like
barely enough.
You go to the door to pick up the pizza and you walk back to bed.
That's more than 35. I mean, and then we were also saying it's because it's a phone, probably a couple times just lifting the phone up. Probably it was like phantom steps. So I think true steps was around 12 to 13. When you're in a tournament, what is your go-to schedule? Do you have the same thing you do every Thursday through Sunday? Like when you're waking up, what's the first thing you do until you tee off at the tournament?
Yeah, pretty similar schedule. I like to play kind of earlier in the morning so I can, take the afternoons off. So I'll usually get out there, maybe around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, go through my little warm up in the gym just to get the body moving. And then I actually don't hit that many balls before I go out, and just go out there and play 9. Usually, like, a lot of guys like to play with other people. I like to just kind of go out there by myself, get my work done, and get out of there. Again, like, I just can't do the 3-hour 9-hole practice rounds. It's just, and at the same time too, like, most of these courses now, this being my 8th year, I've played 6, 7, 8 times. It's more about just kind of getting in the rhythm and the feel of everything, and than it is really like learning a new golf course. So I like to go out there early, play by myself, get it done, and get out.
You're a Florida guy, different type of grass going out west, Pebble, Poana. Does that mess with you at all? Like, I know Kiz, we're tight with Kiz. Kiz like hates playing out west because the grass is so different.
Yeah, I mean, early on in my career, I was legitimately horrible on Poana. Like, I did not understand how to putt on it. And then I just think as I've gotten older and I've played it more often, I've kind of learned the small little things that allow you to putt a little bit better. Like, I used to try to ram the 4-footers in the hole, and I'd make a good bit of them, but then you miss that one from 4 feet and you have 10 feet coming back, so I kind of changed my strategy a little bit and try to dive them in the hole a little bit. And you're going to get those putts that have the little, breaks and the little bumps. But if you hit them a little softer, I just think the hole is bigger and you have a better chance of making them, even though it's more uncomfortable to do that from such a short range.
A little bit of a debate that we've had with some of our buddies, but which is harder, Pebble or Spyglass?
I think Spyglass is actually harder, to be honest. I mean, Pebble has tough holes, but once you get through that stretch of like holes 6 through like 14 at Spy, they're just tough. I mean, you're in the forest, you're not really sure what the wind's doing. You just got to be a little bit more accurate off the tee. I feel like Pebble, you could spray it a little bit and still be okay, but Spyglass is not like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's been a tough L for me. I got into it with our buddy Josh Isner, and I was like, one of them's U.S. Open course, the other one's clearly not. And every person we've asked has said what you've said. So I would love to see if they ramped Spy up into major championship conditions.
Yeah,
what it would play like.
Well, like when they had the Open here at 2018 or 19, it plays so different than it does for the Pebble Beach. Like, the fairways are half as wide, the rough is twice as thick, the greens are twice as fast. So, I mean, in that scenario, Pebble is like really hard. So it just kind of depends on the conditions.
Yeah, I think Phil won that year. Phil won the AT&T that year, and they asked him like, "Oh, is this a good omen going into?" And he was like, "This is going to be a completely different golf course come June, so it doesn't matter."
Yeah. We've played there a handful of times, which is insane to even say for us, like just hacks. But I've always gotten defeated by Pebble just because of the length, and it's more of a mental defeat. I never play my game there. There's something about that place where it's like it's so long. It looks so daunting. And for us, every swing feels like it's the hardest thing on the planet, even though if you really just take hole by hole, like you're saying, there's a lot of room to move it from right to left. Yeah. You can spray it off the tee a little bit more. For me, it's like I crumble, man, except for the 8th hole. I dominate the 8th hole.
The 8th hole is your hole.
It is. I mean,
he made a par. He made like a par one time.
Daniel Berger would take, if in the U.S. Open, Daniel Berger would take exactly the way I played that hole 100 times out of 100.
I played that hole.
3 wood to the edge of the fairway from the back tees. I had a 6-iron because the wind was in my face, a little bit off left to right. I fucking nutted the 6-iron way up left.
Tell us about your fantasy team. Tell us about your fantasy team real quick.
In the back of the hole, and then all of a sudden the caddy told me that someone jumped off the cliff one day on Christmas, and it ruined the vibe the whole entire day, the whole vacation. We were completely ruined.
It did.
And it did. And then I missed the birdie putt, but still a 4 on 8.
4 for 3.
We take that every day.
True. Yeah. Definitely a net 3 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get going into it? I mean, you're only going to play Spy once. So like, is it weird for you to prepare for 3 different golf courses? A couple of them you're only going to see one. Is that a weird dynamic, or again, you're just not really care that much?
No, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, you have to manage your time well enough to be able to kind of get the preparation you need in for all the courses. But I think, I'll usually walk 9 holes with a wedge and a putter at Spy and just kind of see how the conditions are playing, see what it looks like, kind of get a feel for the green speeds. And then Pebble is like a shit show. You can't even go out there. Everyone wants to play Pebble. All the amateurs, all the pros, they all want to play Pebble. So it's like it's not even worth going out there. And then MPCC, it's kind of like once you've been there enough, you get a good feel for it. But it's tough for the guys that are playing it for the first time and they're trying to, rush in this, 3-course preparation. But luckily I played it 4 or 5 times now. So I've got a pretty good feel. I mean, if your speed is good on these greens, then that's kind of the biggest thing that matters.
Do you still get wowed by Pebble?
Yeah, I mean, Pebble is kind of like one of the few courses that you go to and you're like, wow, this place is crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just there's nothing else like it, and it doesn't feel like anything else that we play out throughout the year. So it's definitely the most special course of the year.
We noticed that the Netflix series started the filming last week, and is that something you're excited about? Are you looking forward to that coming out and how you're going to be perceived, and like what are your thoughts on Netflix?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for golf. I think it's going to be really cool. I mean, at the same time too, I'm concerned about saying something that, in this day and age, I don't know. I just think everyone takes everything out of context, so, and I'm a pretty real person. So like, I don't know. There's always just that little bit of concern, like, are you going to say something that, people will take the wrong way? But I think they're going to do a good job of making sure that, they portray you as you are. And, but it's going to be great for the game of golf. Like they were out there last week and you can see some of the stuff, miking up the caddies, things that, the average fan doesn't get a chance to see is now going to be able to be seen, which I think is amazing.
Well, we talked to one of the producers and they were giving us a little inside info that you're going to be a superstar from this thing, just from their.
That's the first I'm hearing of it. So
like they're jacked up about Daniel Berger's presence in this show. And yeah, we also got like the scoop that, let's say something did happen, right? Like a bad incident happened, something happened virally, maybe a mic was picked up or something that would go viral on Twitter and everyone would go crazy. And like, we'd all have all our takes and we'd all just like go crazy. And then this show would come out a year later,
right?
It would show exactly what happened, right? Like you get to see the beginning, the middle, the end. It's almost like, oh yeah, that's that shit that we all went crazy about a year ago. It really doesn't matter anymore. We're not mad about it. So I actually thought that was a pretty cool way of explaining, like, it's almost better that they're filming and recording everything, because if something does happen, you now get to explain yourself the way you always wanted to the year prior.
Yeah, I mean, to be devil's advocate, I mean, there's not that much drama / whatever you want to call it, stuff that goes out on tour. I mean, like the biggest thing that happens is Patrick Reed taking a bad drop, or stuff like that. There's not like guys going out and getting arrested or taking their shirts off and leaving the golf course mid-round. I mean, Brown, but
you should try that though.
Yeah.
Maybe
Give it a go.
I could get some
Maybe that's
PIP money
for what he has planned, and that's why the producer's like, this guy's gonna be a fucking superstar. Waiting shirt off at the AT&T.
No, I think overall though, I think golf, right? And this is our buddy Chad was telling us, and off the record, so I'm not going to give any stories, but he was basically saying that like what's going to make golf change in a lot of people's minds who aren't big golf fans, hopefully, is like normalizing people that are in people's brains like above being normal, right? And like you said, like you fly in, you don't really do anything, you're probably pretty normal. Do you like to be out on your boat in Florida, which pretty much everyone on earth likes to be out on a boat in Florida? So like I think normalizing people, and then all of a sudden you're inside the ropes at iconic Pebble Beach knocking down flag sticks on the smallest greens in the world. Like I think that juxtaposition to people with all the other context will be really cool.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's what they're going for, and I think it's going to be amazing for the game of golf. And a lot of people that maybe not or haven't been golf fans are going to get into the game because of it, which I think is going to be awesome.
What's like the biggest shot at Pebble that intimidates you or that you think about?
It's got to be the 18th tee shot. It's just so easy to sit there and hit one and just re-tee if you start it too far left. But I actually hit one last year. I hit one out of bounds right. So I've done both. I've hit them left and I've hit them right there. But the hardest part is getting up the next day and hitting one after doing that.
Yeah.
It's such an awkward tee shot. It's really awkward. It's because, like you said, like you think the intimidation's on the left, but if you push one a little bit right, there's a cart path over there. There's OB quickly over there. It's a little dicey. As a course with such small greens and the wind going, do you do anything gearing up for this week to like really focus on iron play since it's such a second shot kind of course?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always bringing out. I've got this little like GC quad. It's called the Foresight. It's like a mini TrackMan that we take out there, and I'll hit a ton of shots out on the golf course with actual practice rounds playing with it just to see how far my ball is going. And I think that's made a big difference in the last year or so, is being able to know how far I'm hitting it all the time, because with TrackMan, it was a little tougher to set up behind the ball. Now you just take the Foresight, turn it on, put it next to your ball, and you go. And I just think knowing how far you're hitting it all the time makes a big difference, especially with the conditions and the cold. I mean, like last year, I remember hitting balls on the driving range before the final round. And like, usually I hit my 6-iron like 200 yards. I was hitting it like 182 yards. So, I mean, it's a challenge to get up to the first hole and pick a club that you're not used to, that you know should go a certain distance, but isn't, just because of the conditions.
That's crazy. That's such an interesting difference, because I think it was Keith Mitchell who said the same thing to us of, he's like, man, the ball out here at Pebble just goes nowhere. So you kind of spend these first few days like really trying to learn that. Is it like a consistent percentage difference? Does it depend on each club, how you're flighting it? Like how do you try to dial that in?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the time of the day. Like in the morning when it's a little chillier, you get that marine layer coming in. I mean, your ball is literally going 15 yards shorter than it normally does. And then kind of as the sun starts to warm up, you start to get a little bit of that distance back. So it's really a challenge, but I think after doing it enough times, you start to have a pretty good feel for how far it's going. And like I said, warming up with that Foresight around my ball and getting a feel for how far the ball is going makes a huge difference. But like, you play with amateurs at home and they think they hit their 7-iron 178 yards, and you just laugh because you're like, I hit my 7-iron 178 yards. I don't know how you hit your 7-iron that far, but it's a big thing that would help a lot of amateurs, is knowing how far they hit the golf ball.
Is it a big week for your caddy then to be pretty dialed in on hey, we got to be conscious of the weather, it's heating up, we're going a little bit further. That one hung out in the air a little longer than it was this morning. Is that pretty key throughout the week?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be really in tune with that stuff. And as the week goes on, he'll get better and better. I mean, it's always tough. I mean, for everyone, the first couple of days trying to figure out a really good number of percentage or whatever you want to call it of what the weather and wind is doing to your ball. And then as you get going, you start to get a little bit more comfortable and you just start getting dialed in.
What about on the greens? The greens change throughout the day a lot with the Poana late in the afternoon?
A little bit. They get tougher to putt on, that's for sure. You get 120 amateur golfers walking around the hole, spike marks. Yeah, it gets tough in the afternoon, but it's the same for everybody. So you just got to deal with it.
We got to talk Ryder Cup a little bit.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, sorry, Riggs. I was just gonna say, like, you have your little mini TrackMan thing, and you're tracking all of your shots, and it's just such a grind to like get so dialed in. Are you obsessed with the grind? I mean, you're only 28. You're a young stud on the PGA Tour, but I always think in my head, like, you're just really good at golf at a young age, and now you've signed yourself up to just be a golfer forever, and now you are like dedicated to this grind. Is it still the same love that you had now at 28 that you did when you were like 16 or 15 and just kind of knocking the ball around with your friends?
It is the same, but it's different. I mean, I love working at something and then seeing the results of that work and seeing the progression of getting better. I think that's the part that I love so much, and pushing myself and seeing how good I can get at something is the part that I love about it. But the stresses of playing out here and the money and all the stuff that comes with it obviously changes a little bit from when you were 13 or 14 and all you wanted to do was go out there and play golf with your buddies and you just wanted to have fun. So that part changes, but as much as I love this game, I definitely don't see myself doing it for 30 years more, like guys like Phil Mickelson and Justin Rose and those guys that have been out here since they were 18, 19 years old. So I think once that time comes where I don't enjoy the grind and I don't enjoy getting better, that's probably when I'll be done.
Yeah, it's always just been so like, we take it for granted that we just watch these guys and there's always just a new core of just professional golfers every generation. And you're like, man, these kids just happen to be really good at golf and they've signed themselves up just to continuously keep doing that every single day. I mean,
and some guys are different than others. Like when I go home after a 2 or 3 week stretch of golf, like I won't play any golf. And then you see certain guys back home, like Justin Thomas plays golf every day when he's back. I mean, he doesn't play golf, but he practices. He's doing some form of golf. Like he may be on a 3-week stretch and then he comes home and plays golf with his dad or he plays golf with his buddies. Like I can't do that. When I come home, I'm like, I don't even take the clubs out of the travel case until like a week or two later until I'm ready to go. So I think as much as I love the game, I can easily get away from it.
Right. It's funny you bring up JT. I have a funny story. I haven't told us on the podcast yet. I messaged you guys in the group chat, but we went to this. I'm still at Torrey Pines, and we went to this place that you've probably gone to, Ken Sushi, right?
Yeah,
here.
I love Ken Sushi.
So
Everybody loves Ken Sushi. That's
No,
what
I
we're
love
finding
it.
out.
bro, we went last night, and we're sitting there, and we're with like this big crew that knows Ken, and he's coming out. He's doing like the where he just makes what he wants and brings it out. Probably the best meal I've ever had in my entire life. Not to brag, it was crazy. The guy comes out and someone points to me being like, oh, he really liked that. Or maybe like, oh, it was when they were bringing over some sort of sake and they're like, and Ken came over and poured me. And I'm like, this guy definitely thinks I'm too important. I was the head of the table. I'm like, there's no way. So all of a sudden he does this thing where something was being smoked. One of the pieces of sushi was being smoked and he opened it up and he started blessing me. And he goes like, you are now blessed. He goes, I see 2 majors and 3 tournaments in your future. So we're looking around. We're like, he thinks I'm Justin Thomas. He absolutely thinks I'm Justin Thomas. And this guy, he's like the biggest golf guy on the planet, knows all the players, right? Like you guys all go there. Ron was there drinking out of the freaking US Open trophy with him. But so we're all cracking up at the table. Like, there's no way. Why would he say for someone else? He went over to someone else and was like, oh, you have beautiful children one day. And we're like, okay. For me, he said 2 majors and 3 tournaments. So I went in and I thanked him. I said, Ken, that was the best meal I've ever had. Thank you so much. He put both arms around me and goes, 2 majors, 3 tournaments very soon. And just went like that. And I was like, holy shit, dude. He thinks I'm Justin Thomas. So JT, you have some good fortune coming your way, man. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
You didn't correct him? You just like wrote that out as Justin Thomas?
I was about to say, you just wrote it out.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And I also wasn't going to tell this story to this many people because I felt a little bit bad that maybe he thought it was him and it wasn't him, but it's too good of a story to keep to myself. And he's just such a nice guy that you knew it was coming from the right place.
You liked that you were JT. Like you went into character mode of like, yeah, I'll be Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you see the JT comparisons to Frankie? Because for whatever reason, I am like the only person on the planet who doesn't see it.
I actually do see it, to be honest.
Okay.
It's like the chin structure, I think. You guys look very similar.
It's there. You know what it is? I mean, it's a little bit soft. There's a softness to our face, right?
Yes.
We don't have chiseled jaw lines. So yeah, JT and I, one and the same. We got blessed. So 2 majors in the future for me also, which is great.
Ryder Cup. We got to talk Ryder Cup. You had the whole hood thing going on. You're out there, you almost assume this different character. Is that just your favorite thing in the world? Is team golf and Ryder Cup golf?
I mean, it was definitely one of the coolest experiences of my life. I mean, I knew I was going to be nervous going into it just because you're representing your country. It's such a big event. And then we're sitting there at a team dinner and DJ and JT and Xander and all these guys are talking about how nervous they are. And I was like, all right, thankfully I'm not the only one feeling like this. You know, everyone else has the same kind of vibe going on, but it was one of those experiences that you never forget. I hope that I make many more teams in the future because I don't want to miss them after how that last one was.
You're playing out there with Brooks. Going in for a while, you guys are going to be paired up?
We played together in the alternate shot at the President's Cup. And then, you know, obviously we had the history of playing college golf at FSU together. So I think just kind of the connection worked well for Captain Stricker. And I mean, that's the toughest format to pair is that alternate shot format. I mean, best ball, you can kind of throw anyone together and it's just how many birdies can you make, but the alternate shot, it's a little bit more strategy. And, you know, I don't make that many bogeys. And I hit a lot of fairways. So I think they thought we'd be a good partner together. And we actually played really well. We kind of fell apart a little bit at the end in the second day against Rahm and Garcia, but I mean, they played well. So it is what it is, but next year or next President's Cup, Ryder Cup, I'd like to get into that best ball format because of all the team events I've played. I just played a lot of alternate shots. So you're kind of like, you're hitting one shot and then you're waiting and then you're hitting another shot. You don't really get into that rhythm of like making birdies and making putts and hitting golf shots.
It's hard, man. Alternate shots hard, and almost no one plays it ever.
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time that you went out with your buddies and played an alternate shot? Like never.
We like tried to do it last year at the end of like a buddy's trip, and it was just chaos. I mean, I'm talking like half the holes, you're just out of the hole.
You're out of the hole.
It's so you got is brutal. So yeah, I didn't even really think about that. That's I'm sure you're hungry to get in there for some of the best ball because, like you said, it's just birdie central.
Yeah.
Look at that smug face from Frankie down there.
Frankie, you got anything you want to say to Daniel?
Oh, I can't. No, I can't.
Just say it. You might as well.
Dude, we were at a tournament once and you walked by and I said, man, Daniel Berger's got a fat ass. That's what I said. I don't know what the hell. And it's just become a recurring thing every time you walk by.
In a good way, I think. In a good way.
Thing, man. Like, you're a specimen. You're a professional athlete. We like to examine all different parts of professional athletes. Like Anders Lee on the New York Islanders, we call him Quadzilla. The guy's got tree trunks for legs. You've got a dump in your trunk. You know what I mean? You're dragging a wagon. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Has anyone ever told you you've got a thick lower half?
I have heard that, but I mean, I work hard at it. It's not like one of those things that just happen. I mean, it's hours at the gym. So
here we go, dude.
Leg day,
Squatting
baby.
like 600 pounds.
Bro, he's
it's actually the small, tiny little exercises that are the hardest, like the little band stuff and shit like that. It's usually the squatting is not as hard for me.
It works, dude. Fucking works, man. I don't know what it is. We were at a practice round. You were wearing shorts.
I think we were at Torrey last year.
Yeah, we were just like, this fucking guy is just double kicked.
I mean, my pants might be a little tight too. I probably need to go up a size, but
you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
you're aware.
I mean, you got it. You got to flaunt it. That's how it works.
Did you see like how Tony wore those outfits the other day, like on his way to the course?
I did see that, and I almost said something to him. I was like, "What is this? The NBA? Like, we're golfers here. Like, you wear your golf clothes." I've never just to put this in perspective, I've never seen Tony Finau show up to the golf course in anything but golf clothes. And then Netflix shows up and he's wearing like, jean jacket shirts and like $2,000 Balenciaga shirts. So I don't know.
Well, so we had a huge discussion about this. Like I was talking with Colin before the Northern Trust, and we came up with this idea that he should wear a suit to the Northern Trust because he was taking the ferry over. And I was like, man, these other sports like NBA are able to show off their personality a little bit more. And I know that you guys are golfers, but your generation of golfers are the ones that we like. You guys are regular dudes. Like you just said, like you like to just chill and put the clubs away. And like, you're a real person. You're not the prototypical, stereotypical golfer. And he ended up doing it, missed the cut. So maybe the idea was bad.
He did end up doing that. I did see that actually.
Yep.
So I think that there's this trend that maybe I started, and I'm not fishing for compliments, but like, is that something that you would like to participate in where it's like I think it's weird that you wear the same thing from your living room to the coffee shop and then to the first tee like that. Like, that's strange. If I saw you before you were around on Sunday, you're going to be wearing the same outfit that I see you on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I would be about it. I think I own like one suit that I bought like 12 years ago. So I wouldn't go suit, but I'd probably go like, sweater. And I mean, I'm more of a chill. So probably like sweater and sweatpants before the round.
And that would be awesome. We'd be like, look at Daniel Berger just showing up like this is just a ho-hum Sunday. And then you go out and win the fucking golf tournament. That'd be amazing. And also you'd actually be able to utilize these locker rooms that these PGA Tour venues build for you guys. What else is you guys go in there and what? You like give each other high fives and you leave? You don't even get dressed. There's no locker room aspect. Come on.
No, the locker room is kind of a joke. There's usually like golf balls and gloves in your locker. That's about it.
Yo, we're trying to get this culture like just a little bit more vibrant. Come on.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like it. I think you show a little bit more flair. Frankie, you're trying to get this thing spreading, and I respect
the gospel.
Episode by episode. Just keep it building.
Mm-hmm. All right, Daniel. Well, look, we appreciate it. We appreciate the time. Defending champ. So big week. No pressure out there. You've defended before, right? FedEx?
Yeah, FedEx won that one. So that would be a cool thing to do here this week.
That'd be real cool. Well, good luck this week. Pebble, sick venue. Play well.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, man.